Hey guys, welcome back to the Don't Settle Squad podcast, episode 52, Building Better Habits for Mobility and Life. This episode covers 3 strategies I give to clients to build better habits. So for this episode, we have 3 strategies here that I give to clients for mobility, for other things in life as well. So I'll just list them out and we'll go through them one by one. So first one, just do something. Second one, backup day. And the third one is habit stacking. So just do something rule, the backup day, and then habit stacking. So for the just do something rule, this is for the days when we're unmotivated. We have no motivation to do the program. So in the Physical Freedom program, there is daily movements, which is like 5 minutes a day. And then there's harder exercises, which could be 3 times a week for maybe 30 to 60 minutes. And let's just say it's Wednesday and they were going to do one of the harder sessions on Wednesday evening, and it's a father of 3 and he's a really tough job and he comes home and he's very unmotivated. That this would be an example. So in that case, one of the strategies to build the better habits is the just do something rule. So if that happens, you're going to drop off like you've done before. That's what you think of, okay, just do something. And what it means is you either do the first exercise or the first 5 minutes or whatever little rule you want to make up there for doing something. And it's not a trick. So it's not a trick or anything. It's literally, that's all you'll do. So maybe you were going to do 30 minutes. Maybe you were going to do 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and you're literally just going to do 5, or you're just going to do the first exercise and do the few reps and sets. And then that's it, you're done. And why this is great is because psychologically, the hardest thing to do is actually get started. So some of these tips will actually be in the book Atomic Habits, if you've come across that from James Clear. So with this one, the hardest part is actually just getting started. It's actually just pulling the thread. So with this rule, it really reduces the friction between you and doing the task. Because when you're tired, in your head you're going, oh God, I have to do these exercises for 30 minutes or for 60 minutes. And that's a lot of friction, and then you're more likely to not do it. Whereas if you're thinking, I actually just have to do 5 minutes, it's a much more manageable task for your brain to comprehend when you're fatigued, and you're much more likely to do it. And again, it's not a trick. So it really reduces the friction between you getting started on the task, which is actually the toughest part. And then after that as well, if you want to keep going, you can. But like I said, it's not a trick. It's literally, I'm like, look, on those days, do the 5 minutes, do the first exercise, that's it. And then while you're there, usually when you get started on it, you do the few exercises, you're over that big hump, you're over that big block and all the friction of, oh, this is going to be way too much effort, can't do it, too tired, etc. And then most of the time, people end up doing more. But anything after that is a bonus. So look, if you end up doing 10 minutes, 20, you do the whole 30, great. But as I'm saying, as long as you just do the 5 or the first exercise, that's it. And another reason why this is great is because it keeps the habit going, it keeps consistency going, which is huge. Because the difference between you not doing the session and then all the other negative stuff that comes with it from, could feel guilt or shame or whatever, at least if you showed up and you just did the 5 minutes or the first exercise, you've showed up. You've done the work. It may not have been all the work you wanted to do, but you still showed up. You're still consistent. You're still that person who's committed to the program. You're still not settling. So it has all that positive psychological side of it too, and it really keeps the habit going. Because as we all know, we've all done it before, including me, including all these people you look up to, even the likes of the David Goggins, the Jocko Willings, all these. They've had times in their life where they dropped off, and it usually starts with the slippery slope of, just today, look, just this session, not going to do this one, but I'll do it tomorrow. That turns into 2 days, into 3. You have a week or 2 off, you have months off, and then you're back where you were before. So that's why the just do something rule is great. 5 minutes, first exercise, that's it. If you do more, it's a bonus. Second strategy then is the backup day. So this would be more like, suppose if we stick with that same example for the father, that something has come up. I don't know, one of his kids is sick and he has to bring them to the hospital or whatever. So he's not actually at home and he can't actually just do something in the sitting room or whatever. So on the backup day, this is where you would look at your week. So you look at your week and see where is there either pockets of free time or dead time. Okay, so pockets of free time or dead time. And free time would be, let's say like on a Sunday, maybe for most people, where there might be 3 or 4 hours where there's like nothing there. They've no work meetings, they've no training, whatever, just kind of 3-4 hours there, which is free time. Or dead time would be where you're stuck somewhere and you can't leave. So maybe you're bringing your kid to football practice or whatever, and you have to wait around for the hour and a half. That would be an example of dead time. So you can see those slots in your week and then use one of those as a backup day. So for example, that father who didn't do the session on the Wednesday, didn't do the 30-minute session on the Wednesday, instead of going, oh, that's it, I've dropped off, blah, blah, blah. Now we can go, okay, look, something came up, but I'm going to put that Wednesday session into the backup day on Sunday. Between 2 and 5 o'clock where I have that free time, I'm going to do it there. And then he's staying on track and he's getting the work done throughout the week. Because your body doesn't know days. Like, just sometimes it's helpful to think of it like that. Just think of what you're doing over the week. Like, if you did a session every day, or, you know, they're sprinkled randomly throughout, like, your body doesn't know the difference. So it doesn't actually matter. And the example then on the dead time, that could be maybe the football example. And instead of waiting in the car, you can actually go into the kind of, they have some room in the community centre and like you just do a few movements in there, for example. So yeah, it's dead time where you're not doing anything else and you can actually just fit it in there as well. So you can look at your week, plan it out and think, where could the backup day be? And then if you can't get the stuff done, you put it in there. And again, why is this great? Because it stops with the kind of victim mentality, the settling, and it gives you other options to stay consistent with the program. Because look, things are going to come up. You won't always be able to just do something. These things are going to happen. The third one then, habit stacking. This is a great one. I still use it to this day. So habit stacking is when we stack a new habit onto an already existing habit. Okay, so maybe I'll make another podcast about the science around habits and the 4 stages of it and the kind of psychology of it. But basically, it's not easy to create a new habit. We all know that. Like, it's not easy to break habits and it's not easy to create new ones. Can't remember exactly what the science says, is around 28 days or something like that to kind of ingrain a habit. So that's why the easiest way to create a new habit and the most efficient way is just get a habit that you already have ingrained and just stack one on top of it. And that's it. Now you have the new habit ingrained. So the example, I'll give you the example that I started 6 or 7 years ago on my own physical freedom journey, and one I still do to this day, is when I come down in the morning, put on the kettle for a cup of coffee, I stacked my daily movements onto that. Because you could say it's dead time too. It takes whatever, so 2 or 3 minutes for the kettle to boil. So I come in here to the sitting room and I have the 2 or 3 dead minutes, and it's a habit that I'm going to do every day. I'm going to have that coffee every morning or tea or whatever. So it's not as if I'm going to be like, oh Jesus, I didn't do the mobility the last week there because I forgot to drink my morning coffee. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to just stack it onto habits that you're going to do every single day. And then you're going to do the new habit as well. So that's what I do. I did it this morning as well, just like I do every day. Come in, boil the kettle. There's a 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come in here, do the movements. I can see myself in the mirror here. And obviously, like, the kettle will finish boiling or whatever, and then I've already started them. Just like we said, I've already pulled the thread. I've already got started. So I'm going to finish the few movements. Then I'll go out and make the coffee. So that's a great one. I give that one to clients as well, because I think the morning is the best time, because look, other things are going to come up. We all know that, but just the morning is yours. You know, you'll have that kind of half hour to yourself in the morning, much less likely that you're going to have to address something. So what other example did I give there? Yeah, let's say with the harder exercises, the kind of 3 times a week, 30 to 60 minutes, some clients like to maybe watch some program on Netflix and then they do the workout with that. Now look, you have to be intentful and focused on the exercise, but you can still have something on. You can have a podcast on, you can have your show on, whatever. And then because you watch that show every week on those evenings, you're going to do the program on those evenings too. So some clients like to do that as well, and that's another example of the habit stacking. And to go kind of one layer deeper on it, there's work examples as well. So in my last 9 to 5, working in Facebook, was it 5-6 years ago, when I was on my own physical freedom journey getting coached, I did the exercises in work as much as I could. So I would either do them in the kind of workout room where they used to do yoga and stuff. If it was free throughout the day, I'd go in there for 20 minutes, do some exercise in there. Or else if that was busy and there was a class on, I'd go into the disabled bathroom because there's a lot of space, lock the door, stay in there 15 minutes, do the movements on the floor. So by doing that, I'm hitting lots of them here. I suppose dead time mightn't be the right word, but look, it forced you to be more efficient in work. I got my work done in the kind of 4 or 5 hours. There's 2 or 3 to spare. I used to do the Instagram stories because I knew I wanted to do the coaching, and then I used to do my own mobility and work there as well. So you're essentially getting paid for those things too. So that's an option that most people can do. This was pre-COVID, so now that we're post-COVID, most people have work from home days too. You can definitely organise your schedule where you get the work done in a more efficient way. You leave 20 or 30 minutes there, you work on your physical freedom, now you're actually getting paid to do it as well. So that habit stacking one, really good, very effective one that clients love too. So to finish up then, so the Physical Freedom Program membership. So you'll be listening to this on Monday. So it's actually launching on Friday. So it's launching in a couple of days' time. So on Black Friday, Friday 29th, this will be launching. So it's all the education and coaching from the one-to-one, all the programs and education from the one-to-one coaching into a cheap membership platform that everyone can access. So the deal here for Black Friday is €22 a month on the launch, and the price is going to go up to around €50 afterwards. So those who join on that day or in December, you'll keep the lower monthly price forever. If you join in January, we'll say it's going to be up towards whatever, 48 or whatever I put it at. So in the sections in there, we've got the instructions, then we got the physical freedom education, we got the physical freedom program. So everyone will start there. It'll take 1 to 3 months to learn the foundations, Physical Freedom Foundations program. Then there's the sport specific programs. So then you can branch off now depending on what sport you do. Maybe it's just the gym, maybe it's field sports like soccer, Gaelic hurling, etc. Or maybe it's martial arts like jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. There'll be different programs that you can branch out to depending on what you actually do. And then after that, once you've full physical freedom to do your sport, you can move on to the strength and conditioning programs too. So basic ones all the way up to elite to help you reach your athletic potential for your sport and life. And then finally there's like Beast Athlete program at the end. That's just, to be like kind of levels and stuff to hit in terms of strength and conditioning and mobility too. So it's not just the rehab programs to help you overcome chronic pain and injury. There's programs there to take you all the way up to your athletic potential in your chosen sport. So with this, obviously the one-to-one coaching is what I've done for the last 5 years, like I said, but I want to focus on this now going forward. Give people who either couldn't afford the coaching or maybe don't like one-to-one, they can do it this way. So this is like, you can go in there, do it yourself. I'll be there once a week for a weekly call. You will be able to message me, but obviously it won't be the same as one-to-one coaching. That might be once a week or twice a week. I'll go in and answer some of those. So it's like can be a do-it-yourself thing, or you can get a bit of my support as well. Because the way I think of it, I heard this line before, like when you're lost, you're leaderless, okay? So if you're lost on the mobility journey, the physical freedom journey, you're leaderless. You've no one to lead you. So look, if you, as I said, you're not into the one-to-one coaching, I can still lead you through this path where it's more you're taking ownership and going with it, and you have a bit of my support, because you're still going to get things like the plan, bit of training and education support, and a bit of accountability there if you wanted to. And they're the things that are missing when you go it alone. And look, there'll be a bit of crack in there as well. I don't know, I suppose I'll probably sound fairly serious because I'm very passionate about all the education and I dive deep onto it. But I don't know how I'll say. Look, I'm a bit of crack. Maybe not what you'd expect from seeing me online sometimes. Or that's feedback from clients like, Jesus, so laid back. You're going to be saying all sorts in the sessions and stuff. But look, that's it. Even that always pops into my head. Was it my dad or my mum? One day I was at home in my family home in Roscommon just doing a client session. Afterwards they were like, was that a friend or was that a business call? Jeez, I hope you weren't saying that to someone. I was like, I've got no fucking boss. Like, the whole thing of living true to myself, leaving my old jobs, I just hate all this fake bollocks. Like, I can say whatever the fuck I want, look, people just don't get it when they're stuck in that mode of, oh, did I say this? And, oh, what will my boss thinking? Done with all that shit. So, look, as Gabor Mate would say, in our generation, we've a genocide of authenticity. That's the way he put it. That's why a lot of people gravitate towards me. I'm just saying what I think, heart in my sleeve, and I'm just living life in the way that I want to live it. And most people want to do that as well. So look, we'll have a bit of crack, have a bit of fun along the way as well. That's very important too. Okay, so that's it. Looking forward to seeing you guys in there. So don't settle, live true to yourself, and we'll see you next week.